in my video presentation for organizational change for Toyota. Um, and it's going to be with a slide actually. So just one moment so I can share this in a slide. Toyota. Successful businesses experience a near constant stage of change. Changes are demanded because of initial and external factors. Effective management of the internal and external factors creates an opportunity to sustain business operations. So in this particular one, the organization that we chose you was as far as Toyota, and it was established as far as global brand that was sustain operation by successfully managing organizational change. Toyota was established in 1937 as a producer of automatic looms and have developed into a dominant international vehicle producer. Um, the uh, the Toyota has a $1 trillion operation budget and has become the top 20 of largest company in the world by revenue. Its operation are part in the fluid fueled by two processes called Kaizen and Genshiken Bentsu. That foster organizational change Kaizen is defined as a constant improvement and prevent Toyota from becoming stagnant. And Gen Shingen Butsu is defined as go and see by Toyota and encourage Toyota executive to confront change heard on. So that's the philosophy of the company. For problem proposed for Toyota lately, as everybody know about them, once the defect is identified in a motor vehicle, the first steps of the recall process are ordered either by the manufacturer or by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Toyota had one of the major recalls in its history, and is the one that took place actually in 2009, 2010. And that was due to a floor mat issue and sticky pedal fix, which several people were killed in that accident. Of course, the company image, market share, and economic impact were negatively impacted during the few years that followed. But the company public relations department decided to overcome this issue while relying on actions instead of relying on a public relations statements. So as far as this, there's different theories that was used by the company, and one of the philosophy they used it was the react, contain, and turning crisis into an opportunity as far as doing the overcoming these objections. On this on the production for the company in public relation, the company actually has recent recalls and public relation problems mandate a change in quality control standards and faster reaction to detect defect discover once the vehicle are on the board. So quality control standards are become aligned with Toyota and to unusual quality. So to rely on Toyota's output within the standard, it must increase its quality control budget. Reaction times to defect discovered once the vehicle are on the roads inadequate. So Toyota's credibility has been damaged because of the media coverage of, and it's Toyota's defect, and the company must take steps to reestablish this credibility. As far as the theory that we chose for this Toyota recall, it was the Lewin's theory change, and basically, as been mentioned, that there's 4 steps, which is the diagnosing process, which is understanding what requires change and what problem caused it, and freezing, which is reflect on the required time needed to prepare the change. Movement, a third phase that focuses on how the individual work needs to find new ways to accomplish their job regardless of the work task remained, and the refreezing, and this is the last step, which occurs in the level where everyone accepts the recognition of the new organization and standards. Now, how can we implement this theory in Toyota's case? The first element of change management plan is to reduce recalls by increased quality control. So Toyota must first define the problem by investing more money and time to observe a defect in manufacturing process. This will define the scope of the problem and point out Toyota where what element need unfreezing to promote organizational change. Once the individual element of the defect in the production process are undefined and identified, Toyota will need to unfreeze these steps in the production process. Unfreezing will require changes such as slowing down elements of the production processes to ensure defects do not happen again. So change the employees manufacturing, the defective elements of the vehicle, or changing the technology used during certain elements of the production process. So these are basically as far as the four elements that we use for this recall. Now, as far as the reaction to defect in Toyota, the second element of the change management plan is to catalog defective issues and the corresponding response time. Alerting various organizational structures and their report and relationship is a major step in the unfreezing the problem that requires organizational change. Toyota must first define the scope and the problem by separating wear and tear issues from defects. Phase of Lewis change theory requires Toyota to give the responsibility to catalog the defect to Toyota's dealership. The new initiative will begin to refreeze the element of the new processes by incorporating sales and production into the same strategy. So dealerships will share in the responsibility of managing defects, not just sale. So the final step in the refreezing and the organizational change, it requires a 48 hours response time for resolution of on the road defect. This requires accurate data collection from dealership auto centers and quick response of collected data from production and corporate. How can we, in the next step, how can we use the same theory, Lewin theory, on the public relation? So during this crisis, a communication with an official statement from customers relation department led by the company's president is very important. In fact, it helps clarify to customers that the company is accepting the responsibility from the start. When the crisis first occurred, company leaders should not try to shift or delay the blame. Instead, the company's highest ranking executive should always be available to take full responsibility while acting quickly to disclose what is known and to make change to prevent further change. So one of the main role of Toyota public relation team is to establish analysis process that allows the company to accurately identify the impact of this crisis on the consumer's trust toward the company product and how bad they influence its market share. Now, during the movement process phase, every worker of the company must be fully engaged for the success of this campaign. However, the company should not rely on the production line in order to repair its public image. In fact, it should also create visual marketing campaigns to install at all dealerships that dominantly communicate safety standards to customers and employees. Last, during the refreezing phase, once the new change has been embraced by everyone, the company needs to start instituting monthly training classes for all the Toyota employees in order to maintain culture safety. And that wrapped that up actually for this company change for Toyota. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I'll talk to you soon.